Attorney General. I want to caution each of my colleagues against the instinct to either accuse or imply an accusation relative to someone's heart, relative to someone's intentions, simply because they happen to disagree with you on a question of policy or on a whole host of questions of policy. Respect for the rule of law itself and respect for the process that produces good law, I think, requires us to do better than to accuse someone of having hostility toward the rights of the American people or antipathy toward any group of people simply because that person doesn't share your view that a particular legislative solution might be the best course of action to take in that area. Senator Sessions is eminently qualified for this position. He'll be one of the most experienced, well-prepared attorneys general in the history of the United States after he's confirmed to this position. For this reason, I will be supporting his confirmation. I will be voting enthusiastically, resoundingly, yes, in committee and on the floor. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next up, he's supposed to be next. Senator Coons is next up. He's in the bathroom. Why don't somebody get him?
Here comes Senator Coons.
Okay, good.
Senator Coons is next. In 9 minutes, I'll go vote, and so one of my colleagues chair while I'm gone, and I'll come right back. Senator Coons.
Thank you, Chairman Grassley, members of the committee. I appreciate the opportunity to weigh in on our deliberations today about the nomination of Senator Sessions to serve as Attorney General of the United States. I have gotten to know Senator Sessions in our 6 years of service together on this committee and through other vehicles. And I believe that serving as Attorney General of the United States is very different from serving as Senator. These are different roles with different priorities. And so I will say at the outset that Senator Sessions and I have worked constructively together on this committee on several important matters, including the reauthorization of the Victims of Child Abuse Act and restoring funding for the Federal Public Defender Service. But we have also disagreed about many issues fundamental to our values and the direction of this country. How is the office of Attorney General of the United States different from the office of United States Senator? I think that is a...
We don't have a quorum. We have to have at least 6 people. Is there anybody in the back room that makes a quorum?
You can ask consent to speak.
Yeah. You could ask consent to speak if you want to continue to speak, and we can continue.
Mr. Chairman, is your desire that we recess to all go vote and then return?
My desire we would continue through the vote.
Okay.
So,
and in the absence of a quorum, is it the tradition of the committee to continue with deliberations? I'm a little unclear as to the procedure. By consent,
you can speak.
Okay. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are one senator short of a quorum. Do we believe a senator to be nearby?
Do you?
Approximate.
By consent, by consent, you may speak. Do you ask consent to speak or not?
Mr. Chairman, I think I'd prefer to wait for a quorum.
I assume you're going to get the word you should not ask for consent to speak.
Mr. Chairman, I'd prefer to speak with a quorum present if possible.
Okay.
It's obvious what's going on.
We stand at ease until we determine that we get a quorum or that we don't meet at all. It's my preference to continue till we get done today or
we could go and vote
tomorrow
and come back and round up some members maybe.
Yeah. If people in the majority don't know the importance of this meeting, then how can we expect the minority to consider the importance of the meeting?
Mr. Chairman, my understanding from staff is that there are several senators that are fairly close.
Okay. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Proceed with your speech.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate the presence of a quorum. I was beginning with an inquiry into the difference, the distinction between service as a United States Senator and service as Attorney General. Attorney General is our nation's top federal law enforcement official, but more is required of the Attorney General than a simple pledge to enforce the law. The Attorney General has tremendous power and influence to chart the strategy and priorities of the Justice Department and the deployment of its resources, which include over 100,000 employees and a more than $27 billion.
I'm sure that Senator McConnell will make sure that people of the majority party know how important this meeting is.
Hello, folks. Let me just explain real quick what's going on. They're waiting for a quorum because they have to go vote. There's other people getting confirmed today, including Betsy DeVos, or DeVos, however she wants to say it. And who else is on there? Elian Chow. So there's a few people that they have to vote for. So they're trying to get a quorum to kind of shut this down for a little while and go vote. The vote for Sessions is coming soon.
Committee in his role as Senator. The role of Attorney General of the United States is a fundamentally different one, and I'll pick up where I had left off on that inquiry. The Attorney General doesn't just command the dramatic resources of the Department of Justice, but must also be prepared to fight for, to stand up for the vulnerable in our society, to advance civil rights, to move on justice. The Attorney General must be prepared to defend the rule of law in times of peace and times of war, against pressure from powerful against the Detainee Treatment Act, and was in the minority again in 2015 when he voted against the amendment sponsored by Senators McCain and Feinstein to prohibit interrogation techniques not authorized by the Army Field Manual. Received responses, and would respectfully ask that these questions be afforded the attention that such serious and now pressing matters deserve. I believe we should not proceed to a vote until these questions have been answered. Finally, colleagues, President Trump's actions over the course of the last week and indeed the last day have shined a brighter spotlight on the solemn responsibilities of the United States Department of Justice and the critical need for an independent Attorney General who can reach their own conclusions and, when necessary, stand up to the President. Last Wednesday, President Trump signed executive orders that include plans to build a costly wall at the southern border and announcing a massive expansion of interior enforcement. And in my view, have been targeted because of their religion, denied access to lawyers, and separated from their families. I have publicly decried these actions as being illegal, un-American, and unconstitutional. I believe they've earned America criticism from around the world and have actually made us less safe. Then yesterday, Acting Attorney General Sally Yates demonstrated the courage required of an independent Attorney General in refusing to use the awesome power of the Justice Department to defend this unlawful executive order. She has devoted her career to the pursuit of justice and served in the Justice Department for 27 years, prosecuting white-collar fraud, political corruption, and terrorism before advancing up the ranks of the Justice Department to oversee all day-to-day operations. Yesterday, President Trump called her, quote, weak on borders and illegal immigration, and said she had betrayed the department, and he fired her. The signal to Justice Department attorneys and the next Attorney General could not be clearer. Check your independent judgment at the door and get in line. Now more than ever, it will be of paramount importance to have an Attorney General who can, when called for, resist these powerful forces and stand on the side of justice. Given all the reasons in his record of service here in the Senate and in the state of Alabama as Attorney General and U.S. Attorney, I do not believe that Senator Sessions is the right man for this incredibly difficult and important time. The Attorney General of the United States must be a leader in the battle for equality and a defender of the rule of law, even under enormous pressure. So after carefully reviewing and considering
on a number of issues over the years, such as adoption and human trafficking, I respect his efforts to answer my questions. And I also acknowledge that he has since provided me written responses to many more questions. At the same time, his records and his views on critical issues of justice, including voting rights, the Violence Against Women Act, immigration, have led me to conclude that I cannot support his nomination. I think
And for my folks in the House caucus, before we go to a particularly contentious matter, and it's if it's already been said, don't say it again. So I'm not going to repeat what's been said by some of my colleagues here, except to say I'd like to associate myself with Senator Cornyn's and Senator Lee's comments in particular. I think that the discussion here seems odd in that we're really judging Senator Sessions, with whom I have several disagreements, as a legislator or a lawmaker.
Senator Tillis, would you ask consent to continue to speak because of quorum?
Without objection.
Is there any objection?
Object.
There's objection, so stand at ease. Why don't you all go vote? I'll stay here and hopefully get a quorum back. Everybody come back very fast, and would the whip tell every Republican that this is a very important meeting? This country without an Attorney General, we saw last night, was a major problem. We need to be here as Republicans and get this job done.
I agree.
Stand at ease until we get a quorum again.
All right, folks, really quick. If you want to watch the press briefing with Sean Spicer, it'll be in the link in the description below. It starts in roughly 20 minutes or probably even less. So if you guys want to check it out, make sure to go in the link in the description below. We're streaming simultaneously right now. So we're going to be streaming both this and the Sean Spicer press briefing, which starts in roughly 15 to 20 minutes. So right now they're in a quorum again. They can't make up their mind about what the heck is going on. They're always wasting times, but they're in a quorum. But we'll go back to it in just a few seconds while they come back. Again, if you want to watch the Sean